I made up fully loaded. Maybe I'm thinking of
There's Herbie
Herbie.
fully loaded.
That's it. Herbie. Charlie's Angels 2 full throttle. Herbie fully loaded. This is what
Wasn't
we
that with
bring
Lindsay
you.
Lohan?
And we're shocked that Jack Slydom didn't want to come on to talk about things like this. We're just, and Jack Bauer, how dare they not want to?
And poor Caden Shotzik is being such a trooper
Caden's
right
just
now,
like, what am I
hanging in.
doing here? He's like, I said I'd stay on. Now I have to stay on. I'm tired. These jackass.
Word is I'm bringing home the bacon. Word is they don't see what it take to make it, but the word on the streets how I make it look easy. No flattering, cool, way too easy.
Mr. Callahan, I need your John Hancock on these reports.
John Hancock. It's Herbie Hancock. Yeah.
Welcome once again, ladies and gentlemen, to the Diggle's Diamonds podcast. We thank you for graciously allowing us a week off last week. When Mr. Bentley's the one suggesting the day off, that things have gotten busy. I'm assuming he was thawing out from yet another venture into the travel ball wilderness, but either way, we both needed the time away, so that worked out well.
It's nice to have a bye week. The Bears get a bye week every year.
Yes.
So Diggle's Diamonds needed a bye week.
Absolutely.
Little R&R.
100%. But we are back, and we are joined this week by two members of the class of 2026. Joining us from Normal Community High School is their standout. Well, he just kind of does everything. He's an outfielder. He's a pitcher. He's got a pretty good stick in the middle of that lineup. Beckett Weber, who is uncommitted. And coaches, you're going to find out real quick that you should probably try to rectify that. And then joining us also is Caden Shotzik. Caden, am I saying that right?
Yeah, Shotzik. Yeah.
Okay.
Shot when you're sick.
Gotcha. All right. So Caden is joining us. He's from Brimfield High School. And Caden is headed to Illinois State along with his summer teammate, RJ Duncan. And Caden has been responsible for one of the more interesting kind of rises up the 2026 rankings. Dave and I can both remember where you kind of popped on the scene, and to come up from there has been crazy. So we welcome you, gentlemen. And hope we can have a little fun tonight. So, Mr. Bentley, who you want to start with first?
Let's go with Mr. Weber, hot off the no-hitter. I mean, I'm seeing a lot of them. It doesn't mean it's easy. It really doesn't.
No.
And like Jarrett Quinn from Richwoods threw one at IVC, and it's 7 innings. And, that's not easy to do. It just.
Well, it's it's the ball that's off the end cap that takes the weird hop or the spin, or it's a fister that just, flies over the outstretched hand to your middle infielders, whatever it might be. It's one of the hardest things to do in sports.
It's tough.
I don't think there's an equivalent to it in basketball or football.
No, I mean, you can maybe say, like, for basketball, like, I'm sure you guys all dislike Duke, but when Leitner went 10 for 10 from the field in that Elite Eight game against Kentucky and hit the game winner at the buzzer, I mean, something like that's just basically perfect.
Yeah.
Beckett, you did this against Normal West, if I remember.
Yeah.
So a little more impact there against a heated rival. What can you tell us about, what was going through your head those last few innings, and what was working out of your arsenal, and maybe everything was working?
Yeah, going into the game, we knew it was going to be a fun one. It's always fun against West, in-town rival. So I was excited when I knew I was going to get the start. And then early in the game, wasn't really thinking about it too much. It was just kind of in the back of my mind. And then later in the 4th and 5th innings, it's kind of lingering a little bit more. And the curveball is what I would say was really on that day. I threw it for a strike a lot. You got a lot of swing and misses, and then the fastball was there as well.
What you mentioned the crosstown rivalry, and that always takes it up a notch. But a lot of you guys, train at K's. A lot of you guys play in the Rhino K's program together. What does that do for the rivalry? Does that make it even more intense? This is for like facility bragging rights.
Yeah, in a way it does, but I would say this year's probably a little different since West only has like 2 seniors on their whole roster, and
And you guys are just loaded.
I guess you could say that. So, I mean, it definitely brings a little bit of another element to it, but I would say the bigger facility bragging rights is in a week and a half against U High, where pretty much everyone goes to K's between the two schools.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. We'll have to see if we can get Mr. Cowton to sponsor that one. Maybe buy all the hot dogs or something. Buy all the Gatorades. Who knows?
That'll be a fun one.
Yeah, absolutely, man. That'll be a game that everybody wants to see. I'm sure our friends from PBR and Scout Connect will be crowding the backstop for that one. And whoever else, all the pro guys as well with the way you guys are playing. Beckett, take us through your academic side. What are you rocking for a GPA right now? I know it's over 4. What are we at?
Yeah, so after last semester, I think it's up to a 4.31 out of 4.
I was going to say the last I knew was 4.25, and I knew you did better last semester, so
yeah,
figured it had gone up. What is that? Talk a little about your commitment to academics, because you're still looking for a home, but you've been, every time you and I chat, it's you're sure to mention the academics. Where does that come from? Is that mom and dad, or just something you're preternaturally good at, or what are we dealing with here?
Yeah, I would say I've always kind of knew that was kind of one of my strong suits since I was younger. And then my parents have definitely also recognized that, and they've pushed me along the way to just take the harder classes and make sure I'm not like taking it easy on myself and pushing myself. And ever since I was like younger, I would say I wasn't really like the biggest or anything, so I wasn't really sure if baseball was in my future. So I kind of made sure to keep up the academics and just see if baseball would follow. So I would say that's kind of where my head was with the academics.
Okay. Mr. Bentley, you got anything for him?
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned the academics, so that's probably a huge factor in your decision on where you go next year. And Diggle mentioned you're uncommitted. What kind of information can you leak to us about your recruiting process? Where you're at. Have you narrowed down? Are you definitely going to play baseball? Are you, hoping for a high academic institution with baseball? Like, what's your thoughts on next year?
Yeah, before like coming into the season, I wasn't really sure if I wanted to play or not. I'd had a couple good years in a row, but just didn't know if it was really for me. And then I guess this season I've kind of I don't know, kind of taken it to the next level. So it's definitely really sparked the interest again, and I'm very open to it. I've been in touch with a couple of schools. So I would say like my preferred landing spot would be a high academic school with a good program. But I'm very open to everything right now, and am just looking for the right opportunity.
Very nice.
Good decision, good mindset. Yeah, I like it.
Absolutely. Becca, talk a little about, obviously I've been, watching you guys for 4 years now and being part of the Rhino Case program. Talk a little about your mindset, because obviously, so many of the guys you run around with, you could have gotten real down on yourself as guys like Swarty and Drew and Max and G Money committed, and yet you just kept working. And then sure enough, text pops up from Cowton, hey man, Beckett was up to 91 tonight. And it was like, oh, okay. Like what drove you to keep going when, you could have just been like, man, academics is my route. Like, I'm just gonna, focus on that. What kept you going?
Yeah, last year during junior year, when I kind of saw everyone else getting like that big time attention, I would say in a way like I was very happy for all my teammates. That was the first thing. And then the second thing was it kind of motivated me to work harder because I knew all these guys I'd be competing with for a spot. So I knew that if I didn't keep putting in the work and the time, that I would just end up on the bench. And especially this offseason, since it was senior year and the grades are pretty much already set, I definitely took it to the next level through K's and just being in there every day, whether it's hitting, arm care, working out, and really just using everyone else's success as motivation to work even harder.
Very nice. Very nice. Well, that's all I've got for the young man. Mr. Bentley, you got anything else?
No, Beckett, congrats on that gem you threw against Normal West, and we appreciate you coming on. And I can tell you, having played at a high academic Division III school, they're out there. There are places. There's actually a lot of options, and I'm sure they're all reaching out to you now. Places that put education very high, along with their baseball program.
Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely. All right, brother. Well, you're welcome to stay. You're welcome to go. Either way, I'm sure I'll see you around the ballpark this week or next. So,
Yeah, for sure. Thank you guys for having me.
yeah, absolutely. Be
Beckett.
good to see you, brother.
Thank you. Have a good one.
You too, man. See ya.
See ya.
And that leaves with Mr. Shotsick.
Yes, sir.
You, I remember you popping up a couple years ago. I think you would have been a sophomore
Yeah.
at PBR's Peoria ID showcase.
Yeah.
And the thing that stood out was you just had a cannon across the diamond. At that point, you were playing third, and I think you were like 86 or 87 across the diamond. It was like, oh, okay, like this'll play.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and then you just took off, man. Like what has this ride into the top 10 players in the state of Illinois been like?
Yeah. Like you said, it was that Peoria preseason was kind of the first time I ever gone to a showcase, and there was a lot of good players there, and you just got to compete. I mean, I was in there from the start. I was just trying to compete, and then obviously I think I got put, the first ranking that I ever got was like 80 something, and you're looking at the top 10, and you're like, I'm probably better than some of those guys. Top 30, I'm better than some of those guys. So at that point, you just got to go out and prove it. And then, as the size came on, I got a little bit better too, and I just kept working. So all the puzzle pieces started to fall into place. So
I love that, man. I just real quick, BD or DB. What you just said about, hey, I'm better than that kid. I'm better than that kid. That reminds me back when PBR was just a magazine, and that's what it was going back to like 03, 04. That's how it started.
yeah,
I'll never forget Brandon Wyckoff coming into my hotel room at the state tournament, state finals, and going, hey, you got that PBR? And I was like, yeah, because I always carried him around with me so I could know what I was talking about. And he just goes, and Wyckoff was a hell of a ball player. There was no need to, but he was so intent on proving that he was as good as the Zach McAllisters of the world. He was like, I'm better than that guy. I'm better than that guy. I'm better than that guy. F that guy. Just
yeah,
went through
yeah,
the whole top 10. Like, yeah, I'm
yeah.
gonna wipe all these dudes.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the approach, man. That makes my heart warm right there.
Yeah, no, definitely. I got that same feeling. Still do.
Good. Keep it.
Yeah, keep it forever. Absolutely. Caden, when did you hit 6'4"? Because I think I shook your hand at the state games in Rantoul when I was talking to RJ Dungeon, and you're looking down on me by at least 3 inches. When did you hit 6'4"? Like what year in high school?
It was probably around. It might have been even during the summer that I hit 6'4". I was probably 6'3" during last spring, so it was probably this past summer.
Okay, because I know Diggle was mentioned, your rapid rise, and I was just trying to guess how tall you were, as a sophomore compared to now. Where you think you were about 6 foot, 6'1", 2 years ago?
Yeah, as a sophomore, I was probably 6 foot 6'1", about 180 pounds. So
okay, so you put on the weight, you got the height. I mean,
I do remember the weight. He was even back then. You could tell, like, yeah, this kid's already built. Like, it's gonna be there.
Yeah.
what advice would you give to a freshman in high school who, let's say is 5'9", 5'10", but likely to grow some? Like, what advice would you give them as far as, along the lines of working hard, the actual workout, and then maybe along the lines of the patience, knowing that you are going to get taller. You just got to hang in there and wait. What would you tell a 15-year-old kid? If your 15-year-old version of you, I guess, what
Yeah.
advice would you give yourself back then?
Yeah, because I was probably around that same height. Like when I came into high school, probably like 5'7" during the baseball season, 5'9", and then obviously during the freshman year high school season, I got to hit a few times actually during regionals, but it was kind of just I was a smaller kid, so my coach kind of didn't see me as a starter or just a bat in the lineup, but I thought I was personally better than some of those kids. But you just got to be patient and know that it's coming. I mean, the weight will just naturally come. You just got to keep eating, stay in the gym. Because I was probably in the gym since the beginning of my 8th grade year. Actually, I was pretty small as an 8th grader too, around that same size, like 5'7". So, but yeah, you just gotta be patient. I mean, there's nothing to worry about. You got 3 more years after that freshman year to prove yourself. And then obviously, I didn't go into that first showcase until the February of my sophomore year. So, you just got to be patient, I guess.
Did Was that a conscious decision to, like, did your dad ever talk that over with you about, like, hey man, look, we're not going to a showcase until we know you've got something to showcase, like something that's gonna open eyes?
Not really, but my dad was kind of a late bloomer himself too, because he's probably like 6'2". I think on his
Yeah.
first license, he said he was about like 5'6" on his first license. So it was like he kind of expected me to be a little bit of a late bloomer, and that is what ended up happening. And he just said it'd be all right. I'd grow into it at some point, whether that be freshman, sophomore in college, or junior in high school, and it ended up being a junior in high school. So just gotta wait for it.
Very
Yeah,
cool.
I think a lot of kids go through that, and that's why I wanted to ask that question. I think that's great advice. I got one more question, Diggs, and I'll turn the rest over to
Yeah.
you. Caden, no secret to you, and we've mentioned it on this show. There is always that chance that your name gets called before you step foot on Illinois State's campus, and by that name called, I mean the MLB draft.
Yep.
While that is a dream, and nobody except those teams know whether your name will be called,
Hmm.
if if it is called, what are the factors running through your head at that point when you've got RJ Duncan and Chase Lockwood saying, come on, come with us, and you got a chance to go straight to the MLB? In that hypothetical, what would you be thinking? What would be going through your head?
Yeah, obviously, some teams or some organizations are better at developing their high school guys than others, and then there's also the factor that you gotta be able to make a decent amount of money off that first signing bonus. So it's probably the main two factors are the signing bonus and then the organization that you're signing with. So, but other than that, yeah, I think going to college would be a nice experience, just to hang out with your buddies, just in general, and then obviously you can get better, and I feel like I can even perfect not perfect, but get better with my mechanics and movements, and just getting more athletic in general. So I think going to
Yeah,
college is just as good as going into the league right away.
it seems like a no lose situation to me.
Yeah, for sure.
Uh, Caden, you've made some headlines with your fastball. I think what 94 is the best.
Yeah, somewhere up there. I'm not really sure
Yeah.
exactly what it is, but
So yeah, 94, and then the one that had me getting calls was you hitting balls off the bat at like 108, 109. Um,
hmm
am I right to assume that hitting is probably the favored future?
Yeah. So far, that's definitely what it was, but it's not come as a surprise to me because I've always thought my bat was better than my arm, but originally my arm was what put me on the radar for most colleges. So it was like, I was kind of looking for a school to 2A at because I definitely knew my bat would develop because I've always thought of my bat for sure being better than my arm, and then my arm just kind of took a jump over my bat. But I think my bat's definitely taking a leap over my arm once again. So
Yeah. What about the position change? You went from third base there as a sophomore to playing center field. What was behind that? Just take it easy on the arm a little bit for pitching days.
um, I think it's more of our school has a lot of middle infielders, just infielders in general, not a lot of outfielders. So, and I'm more athletic than most of the kids. Not most of them. I mean, most of the kids are pretty athletic, but I can play more positions. I've adapted to more positions. I feel like I just
Yeah.
know the game of baseball a little bit better than most of the kids on the team. So, kind of took the position into the outfield and then to center this last year, and then in the summer I kind of started playing the outfield just because I was going to play the outfield during the spring. So, but I can still take infield reps perfectly fine. I honestly feel like I've gotten better at taking infield reps just from playing the outfield.
Really?
Yeah,
What
yeah.
what's what's been the what do you think that is a result of?
I feel like it's the do or die footworks. I don't know what it is, but I just see the ball into my glove a lot better than I did before. So
Nice.
yeah,
Very cool.
tracking seems a lot easier.
Yeah, that I could see. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, you're only raising your own stock with the obviously with the ability to play multiple positions. I think that's great that you're moving around, Caden. I think, you know, again, I don't want to jinx anything, but draft stock, if you can play infield and outfield, good Lord. I mean, it bumps you even higher
Yeah.
on Pinky's list. So
Yep.
Yeah. Well, Caden, we appreciate the heck out of you coming on, man. Glad we were able to finally get you on here and talk to you and let the folks know what you're about, man. So
Yeah.
we
Thanks for
wish you
having me.
yeah, we wish you nothing but the best going forward. And if you want to stick around, we're gonna talk about some kids you might know. And if you don't have time to stick around, by all means go do what you gotta do, man. I know it's school night, so
Yeah, I'll go ahead and stick around for a little bit.
all right. When are you guys done with
appreciate it.
school?
We're done with school May 7th. May
Oh,
7th
so
is our last
Thursday.
day. So yeah, Thursday.
Hey,
Yep.
hey.
It's
Look
coming
at that.
up.
Congrats.
You
That's
should
that's
definitely come to East Peoria and taunt RJ on that Friday morning.
Oh, they have a Friday morning game? Oh no, you mean at
They
school.
don't get out till
Yeah,
Friday.
yeah.
Just pull
Yeah, I
up with
think
a
our
box of donuts, and be like, I'm already done.
yeah.
All right, buddy. Well, feel free. If we're talking about some kid and you want to jump in, by all means, jump on in, man.
All right, we'll
So,
do.
well, Mr. Bentley, let's take this bad boy around the state, shall we?
I mean, we really are especially with the bye week. It's like taking a few days off of work. Like you come back to just a firestorm. We got a lot of games to catch up on, friend.
Mel, it's funny you say that. Like, I think I get a lot of emails. Like, I cracked my work email this morning. I had 39 emails, and it's all like stuff from the various things that I'm a member of and have subscriptions to and all
Sure.
that. But Mel took a day off like 2 weeks ago, and she came back to 439 emails. And I was just like, what in the hell goes on at your workplace that you have 439 missing emails?
It's a deterrent to take days off.
Yeah, you ain't
I
kidding.
I hate it. I hate it. But you got to do it to stay
Yeah.
sane. You got to get your days off.
Oh, absolutely.
Uh, but yeah, we'll move through this. I'll hit the light surface because it's funny, ladies and gentlemen. Diggle sent me kind of his notes. He's like, "Hey, these are the 5 or 6 dudes and games I want to discuss." And I'm like, "Here's my notes from the last 2 weeks," and it was like 59 pages worth of crap. And I'm like, I won't go through all that. So but I am going to start, and I'm also going to bounce around on the timeline, sort of like Dr. Brown and Marty McFly in the time machine. I'm going to go back and forth, back and forth. So bear with me. But the first game I got to mention, and too bad Mr. Beckett has left us, but Normal Community gets walked off way back on Monday, April 20th by Champaign Central. 9-8. And Wilson McDaniel, the southpaw out of Champaign Central, comes in relief when I think Normal Community might have been up. And he goes 4 1/3, gives up only 1 run. Then he hits the walk-off double and had a total of 3 RBIs. That's taken down the giant. That's David and Goliath type stuff right there.
Yeah, I talked to Wilson back then because we were going to have him on last week, and then I tried to get him to come back on this week, and he was busy tonight. He felt horrible, but you could tell, man, that was he was flying high off that for sure. That's one of those things you never forget. You know, like you and I have both talked about this. Like there are certain things that happened during our time in high school baseball that I can still replay, and you can still replay in your mind like it's nobody's business. Like I can
And we're
see
going
it.
to retell those stories
Yeah,
over and over and over when we get
100%.
together with those same people we played against or with, or even we're in the same area at the time.
Yeah,
I mean,
100%.
I can't tell you, the Ryan Alexanders of the world who were Peoria Richwood's rival. He goes to Notre Dame. I probably talked to him the most about our time playing in the 90s.
Yeah.
And like I said, he was our biggest rival and probably didn't say 2 words to him until college. And so I'll let you go. We'll do the alternating game. So what do you got,
Well,
Diggs?
as long as we're on normal, talking about Normal Community and having Beckett on, we might as well talk about the week they had this week. Um, you've got another arm for a Normal Community, Josh Jones, throwing 6 innings, 18 outs, 15 of them by strikeout for the Indiana State commit. And that was also against Normal West in the other rivalry win. Just that kid, I can't say enough good things about Josh Jones. That dude lived in the facility. He was chasing his brother, who's now at UCF down there in Orlando. That's a lot of pressure on your shoulders to have to follow big brother like that. And man, he has just risen to the occasion every time. And then the other thing I want to talk about at Community is their bats. Valpo recruit Drew Stevens is just going off right now. I think he even had like 4 stolen bases this week, not to mention a couple homers and several doubles. That whole lineup is just dangerous, man. Like their whole lineup the other day went 8. The top 4, no, pardon me, the top 3 hitters in their lineup, which was Michaels, Heineman, and Stevens, was 8 for 12 with like 2 doubles, a triple, and a home run. So literally half the hits they had were for extra bases. It's such a hard lineup to get through. And then you've got guys like Beckett Weber, like Gavin Swartz, Lucas Beatty just waiting back there. Like it is a loaded lineup. Andrew Nauer's another one. Like that lineup, there's no off at bats there. So shout out to the Ironman for sure.
I really hope they can get back to state. And, there's a lot of teams I'd love to see get there again. But, being the hometown area favorite, I would just love to see them capture a crown or at least get back to the Final Four. Very special team. We talked about this on the last episode. So many times I even purposely try to skip over some of the blue chip players that we talk about a lot and find somebody else that's a little bit further down the line or a school that's not a top 10 school and find a highlight there. But we still got to give the love where it's due. And they have been outstanding. And that's kind of the reason I
They made me
highlighted.
talk about them.
Yeah,
You
that's
have
the
to.
reason you brought up Wilson McDaniel,
Yeah.
slaying the giant, because it's impressive. It's really
Yeah.
impressive.
100%. What you got?
All right, back to me. Friend of the pod, Cannon Baxley. Canelan versus Rochelle. Cannon Baxley steps in the sixth inning. They're down 4 runs against the Rochelle Hubs. He goes ahead and hits a grand slam to tie it. Game goes to extra innings. He singles in the eighth and ends up being the guy who scores the winning walk-off run. So an outstanding game against Rochelle for Cannon Baxley. He's been hot with the bat lately. He's been pitching well. No shock about any of this stuff.
Did he come in relief in that game too?
He might have. I know
I think he did.
He came in and saved a game against St. Charles East that I was at. He's been starting. He's been coming in relief. He does everything. He wants to win so bad. Getting to see him play in person, you can just see the drive, and I feel like he shoulders a lot of like heavy lies the crown.
Oh,
because he's a young man, but I think he's the best player on the team, and they've got some good players. The Wilden kid going to, I believe, Purdue Northwest. There's a couple other D2 and some solid school attendees and commits. So he's just a heck of a ball player, and I enjoy when I can't watch him. I enjoy reading the box scores about him.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Back to me.
Back to you.
We tried to get this young man on this week. Jack Slidham, the University of Cincinnati recruit, was up to 96 and also tossed a no-hitter with 8 Ks and 1 walk in a win, I believe, over no, it wasn't. Shoot, I
I'm
can't
looking
remember.
it up now. I'm
Yeah,
trying to remember too.
I want to say Yorkville, but that's not it.
I think he threw the no-hitter against York, which is in
York. Yep,
Elmhurst.
York. Yeah. There we go.
Yeah.
That's why Yorkville was stuck in my head. This is one of those things that's that we've run into from time to time. We ran into it last year with Jack Bauer. Jack and just both Jacks took a pass on appearing. Jack flat out told Jack Bauer, I just can't say Jack for both because, Jack Bauer was like, hey, my agent doesn't want me to do it, or advisor, or whatever we're calling them these days. And Jack Slidham basically said the same thing. And that's, we understand that. We don't think they're big leaguing us at all.
Totally get it.
That is 100% your prerogative. And if I was staring down, a top 5 round pick, I would probably not talk to bozos like us. Keep my Sunday evening free for the cross checker from the Mets or something.
Absolutely.
So totally understand there, but still has to be highlighted. Again, as we discussed, the no hitter is such a hard thing, even when you have that kind of supreme arm talent. To just be that good is silly. So shout out to Jack, and maybe we can get him on after the draft or something.
Yeah, after he's a millionaire.
Yeah, we can also hit him up for money then.
Yeah, exactly.
You want to sponsor a podcast?
Yeah. He seemed like another one that, if I remember from last year, he was chucking cheese, but not 95, 96 cheese. And he's made a big jump, in the PBR rankings, as well as word of mouth with you and your boss for Cincy. So again, and Beckett mentioned it. Beckett's like, look, I had a couple good years, but this year he's been popping. And sometimes that happens with kids, and a lot of it, Caden mentioned it. He like, look, dude, I was 5'8" as a freshman. Now I'm 6'4". Kids grow, kids get more mature. They, as pitchers, sometimes you start thinking, using the brain a little bit more than just the arm, which can help. So, congrats to Jack, and And he's another guy along with Mr. Caden here who could get their name called. We just never know.
Yeah, absolutely. Back to you,
All right.
sir.
We're going to go to Saturday, April 25th in the time machine. Mount Carmel edges out Brother Rice in a slugfest, 16-14. And the Triton commit, who we've talked about a lot for his speed and glove and arm from the outfield, Logan Fernandez, shows the bat this game against Brady Cunningham, the Texas A&M commit. 4 for 5 for Logan, 2 homers, a double, 9 RBIs in one game. That is swinging it well. I think Triton got a steal. Everyone knew last year that the speed was there. He's ultra fast. I think he's like a 6'4" runner, possibly sub 6'4". But if you're going to start hitting bombs, I think he hit 1 bomb and 1 double off of Brady Cunningham, the Texas A&M commit, and then a home run later off someone else. If you're going to start doing that, he might only spend 1 year at Triton. We'll see.
Yeah, it's funny. We've been talking about these guys who could potentially be one and done, and you're right. 15 years ago, that's absolutely a potential one and done. But this 5 for 5 thing, I don't know what it's going to do.
Yeah.
I have it. I will tell you folks this. I have it on inside information. Friend of a friend knows the NCAA Prez, and he's basically said that it is gonna go. It's gonna happen. So, based on what I've heard, a lot of schools are going to take that and put more money into the so-called money-making sports, your footballs, basketballs, stuff like that. So we'll see. But yeah, great game by Logan Fernandez for sure. And Triton has got an absolute steal there.
Yep.
Did you see those two played at Wrigley as well earlier last week?
They did. Xavi, who's going to U of I, Anthony Chavez, who we like to talk. Yeah, we like to talk about. That I saw highlights, and boy, I wish I could have snuck down there to watch that game. And that's something, even those big time D1 guys like Javi, who's going to U of I, he'll remember that the rest of his life.
Oh,
I mean, what to play 2 big titans of Illinois high school baseball at Wrigley Field.
Yeah.
What an experience.
Now, here's the thing, and this is interesting. I don't know if this was, obviously the Chicago area teams, it's not uncommon for them to play big games. The public league will do it. They play their title game at either Rate Field or at Wrigley. The Catholic leagues used to do the same when they had the Catholic tournament before they went to the postseason. The reason this kind of intrigues me is the Cubs put a deal out there in the offseason to pretty much every high school team and every junior college team. And I ran it down. I talked to the folks in the Cubs front office and ticketing, and it was going to be $15,000 per team. You had to sell $15,000 worth of tickets to a Cubs Pirates game at like 1:20 on a Sunday afternoon, and then you would get to play for 2 hours afterwards. So $30,000 just to set foot on there. So I hope that wasn't the case for such a big game as that. But I also know that both those schools probably have several wealthy alumni who could pay that no problem and not sweat.
That's what I was thinking. As expensive as that is, I'm pretty sure they had the dough stored away. Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, Donovan McNabb might have tossed in on Carmel's end.
Yeah,
there's some
absolutely.
big time rich athletes and just entrepreneurs, etc. From those
who
schools.
I saw from Brother Rice the other day? It was on that guy rocked Twitter account, the college basketball account. Bobby Fraser. Went to Brother Rice and then to North Carolina and was just a baller.
Yeah, that's a name from the past, man.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, but great for them. It looked like the Cubs took good care of them. So no matter what, that's a heck of a place to play that ball game for sure.
It is. My turn?
Uh, I don't know. Did you just go?
I thought you did. Wait, yeah, I did. You
Yeah,
segued. You
yeah.
segued
Sorry,
Mount Carmel. You're up.
sorry.
Good call.
Uh, down here probably ought to start to talk about St. Joe Ogden. Um, Man, they are lighting everybody up. Number one team in 2A. It's gonna probably come down to them in U High, and my biggest fear is they're gonna meet, in like a freaking sectional semifinal or something. I don't think we have the postseason paths out yet, but man, that's gonna. I don't like the fact that they're so close and could potentially play each other well before they should. But they absolutely rolled over a GCMS team that has some pretty good ball players on it. 16-1. Bryson Houchins, who's headed to Morton College, their big first baseman, goes sack fly, RBI double, and 2 home runs for a total of 8 RBIs on the day in that game. So that's a pretty good day at the ballpark. Um, on another note, that uh, that SJO squad is basically a high level JUCO team right now. Like they've got dudes going to Kaskaskia, Kankakee, Morton. I think they've got one or two going to Parkland, one to Heartland. I mean, it's that team is probably as close as you can get without the big leaguer to that 2006 IBC team that had Zach McAllister and Heartland coach Chris Razzo and all that won a state title, and all 9 of their starters went on to play college ball as well. So
They're fully loaded. Like what? Naked Gun 2.5. Wasn't that the name of that movie?
yes. By the
Uh,
way, all those movies are free right now on YouTube.
yeah, go check them out, folks. It's funny you mentioned St. Joe. I'll piggyback. I was going to mention they handed Monticello their first
Yes.
loss. Monticello was 21-0, and Asher Prumer threw a complete game shutout and said, "You're no longer undefeated. Thanks for coming out."
Yeah.
And the guy you mentioned, Bryson Houchins, he's a really good hitter, man. He scores twice, has 2 hits for the Spartans. They are really good, really
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
By the way, I think it was Charlie Angels too, fully loaded. I don't know where I got Naked Gun.
No, Naked Gun's right.
It's fully loaded. That was the
I'm
nickname of
pretty
it.
sure.
All right, we'll have a
I'm
fact
not
checker.
familiar with. I'm not familiar with the Charlie's Angels movies. Let's see.
The only reason I remember that is because they referenced it in the movie Superbad. If you remember, there's an exchange between the two main characters, and he goes, "No, man, I'm fully loaded like Charlie's Angels too." That's the only reason
You might be right because according to this,
it's full throttle. Full throttle.
Oh,
That's what it was.
Well, we're both wrong.
So fully loaded probably was Naked Gun.
No, Naked Gun 2.5 was The Smell of Fear.
Was there ever a fully loaded? Did I make that up completely?
Let's see, Naked Gun 33 1/3. Naked Gun 33 1/3 was The Final Insult.
I made up fully loaded. Maybe I'm thinking
There's
of
Herbie fully loaded.
That's it. Herbie. Charlie's Angels 2 full throttle. Herbie fully loaded. This is what we bring you.
Lohan?
And we're shocked that Jack Slydom didn't want to come on to talk about things like this. And Jack Bauer, how dare they not want to?
and poor Caden Shotzik is being such a trooper
Caden's
right
just
now.
like, what am I doing here? He's like, I said I'd stay on. Now I have to stay on. I'm tired. These jackasses won't shut up.
I want to put like Caden's face just up for the whole time. Just make us picture in picture, and Caden just have your face there going, "Oh my god, these
just
guys."
Show
are
his
dumb.
reaction to the buffoonery here.
Yeah. We'll have him fill in the word bubbles like what's going through his head. When Diggle said this. Oh.
Okay, let's move forward.
Yeah, let's.
I'll step in here. We're gonna go back in the time machine to Thursday, this Thursday, April 30th. Naperville Central Southpaw Max Henson, left-hander, chucks a 7 inning no-hitter. We just talked about it earlier with Mr. Beckett Weber, how hard it is. 13 Ks. This one was against DeKalb. DeKalb is not a slouch. They've got the stud Cole Latimer, who's playing quarterback and center field for the Northern Illinois Huskies next year. We'll see how that goes. Bo Jackson can do it, Dion, but it's very hard to play two sports. But
How about that Husky baseball
committed.
team, by the way?
What's that?
That Husky baseball team clinched a spot in the MAC tournament today for the first time since 2019. So
They're
Cope and the
rolling.
boys
They're
have been rolling.
They are rolling well. So anyway, my point was with Cole Latimer, then that lineup and others, that's not an easy thing to do. So tip of the cap to College of DuPage commit, left-hander from Naperville Central, Max Henson. Nice job on the no-no.
Have you been to COD's baseball field?
No.
They have possibly, I think maybe I've mentioned this on here, they have possibly the coolest thing ever. When there is a foul ball or like a ball out of play, they have like an iron mic rigged up that you, in the press box, you put the ball like in the chute and it throws it over the fence to the pitcher.
What?
It's the craziest thing ever. Like it literally, like you know that old iron mic, like thunk, like when it threw it.
I remember it. Yeah, they had him
like
at
when we were at WT. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's exactly what it is.
And like the arm would shake for a while.
Yes.
Like after it just
And that's like there's just a slot in the roof, and you just hear thunk, and it just shoo. Right.
What's funny is us Rolling Acres kids in Peoria. That's where we practiced our hitting. No wonder people like me be pitcher only once we got to college. But
oh man, absolutely.
what else you got? I got
I'm
three more
trying.
topics.
I just realized that I've got Colin Bettenhausen down, but I don't have who he beat. And there it is.
I'll tell you this: he's been beating everybody. But
Yeah,
go ahead. I'm sure you've got a specific game too.
Yeah, so that would be on a Monday of this past week. He beats Homewood Flossmoor 4-0. That Homewood Flossmoor team is pretty talented. And Colin goes complete game shutout, 10 Ks, allows 3 hits, making Billy Kopp look like a genius again.
It's like Cowton's Arm Farm. I mean, Lincoln Way East, and I'll piggyback because I was going to talk about another, I think a different game that they hit 4 home runs against Homewood Floss. Cooper Johnson got the win, friend of the pod, Cooper. He got the win and hit a home run. And that's when Rocco Triolo ranked 59, I believe, uncommitted. Folks out there, uncommitted, ding, ding. 2 bombs for him. That's a dude who throws 82 down to second. He's a catcher and hits 102, 103 exit velos. So
2027 catcher.
Somebody's going to get a good one with him.
Griffins win that game 9-6 that Rocco homered twice in. So
you gotta
very nice.
I'm not surprised considering Billy Kopp was kind enough to give my son a bullpen session. And my son is not like 16, he's 10. So, and he keeps it simple. He keeps it lively. He's a pitch whisperer. So nothing's ever going to surprise me about any member of the pitching staff with the Griffins at League.
Never, ever. Stay up there that way. Small school side this time. One of those kind of schools that always seems to be good at something. Some years it's football, some years it's wrestling, some years it's basketball, some years it's baseball, sometimes it's all 4. Wilmington, Cooper Holman throws a complete game 2-hitter, strikes out 12, gives up 1 unearned in a 9-1 win over rival Braidwood Reed Custer. So the Wildcats, they were pretty good this fall on the gridiron. They've just got athletes, man. And that town, that's one of those towns where the kids are taught to win at an early age. Like it's in the water. Um, I
Any
can remember
ballpark? Go ahead.
I I went up there on a Saturday. This was in like 2004. Brimfield was playing up. This was when Forker was at Brimfield, Caden. And I'm trying to think who would have been on that team for Brimfield. Coyle was already graduated. I don't think Porter I think had already graduated too. I'm trying to think who that kid who went to Parkland. I can't remember his name. But anyway, Brimfield was like 21-2 and walked in there on a Saturday in May and just I mean they didn't get run ruled, but it was pretty clear that they had a long way to go to catch Wilmington. And of course, that was when Wilmington had the Roarks, uh, Tanner and Dylan, who both had success at the college level and at the pro level. Tanner getting to the league with the Nationals. So that's just like I said, that town just breeds winners. It's a pretty cool place.
What's a ballpark on student population at that high school?
I would say over under 500.
That's what I thought. Yeah.
Now I want to know because they're 3A in football, so that usually see Wilmington uh IHSA 400. Wow. Wow. I briefly thought about making that my low end, but man, that even shocks me.
Yep. They
So,
it's we've got a lot of those towns in Illinois
yeah.
where small schools, Brimfield's one of them, and they just continually have. And sometimes it alternates. The football,
Yep.
Farmington can be like that at times.
Yeah.
There's a ton. There's Teutopolis, to
Yep.
go down south.
Although no football in T Town, ironically.
No team at all.
Nope. None of the National Trail Conference teams have football teams.
Okay.
So yeah, it's that's they play National Trail Conference games, or they used to when I was down there. They would play all their National Trail Conference games in the fall for baseball. You'd play a 20 game high school conference schedule and then play your 34 in the spring against whoever you wanted to play.
Good stuff.
Yep.
All right. I got two more topics. I
Hit
have
me.
to give a shout out to Brandon Thompson from St. Viator.
Yep.
Specifically one game, which was Tuesday, April 21st against Fremd. Ended up being a tie. But Brandon goes 3 for 4 in that game, 6 RBIs, 2 bombs. He's a Purdue commit. St. Viator Lions have a really strong squad. They've played a lot of good teams, 16-7 right now. They got players like Jacob Oberweiss, Jonathan Shantz, who's a SWIC commit. Oberweiss is going to Oakton Community College. Tanner Banya, I believe I'm pronouncing that right.
Yeah.
A lot of good ball players at St. Viator on that northwest side, sort of near Schaumburg, private Catholic school there.
Caden, you ever run into Mr. Thompson at Hannum's?
Yeah, actually, I saw him today. We were there earlier.
There you go.
Saw him today. Saw him last week, and I think the week before. So yeah, we see him there. We see him up there every once in a while.
There you
Him
go.
and Dylan Ramley were up there today.
Oh,
They were
okay.
up there.
Going to Northwestern. So,
Yep.
Caden, talk a little bit about Trey, because he, more and more guys like you are starting to work with him, and of course, there's always the pro guys that he's either flying out to see or they're flying in to get him from the airport. But tell folks a little bit about what Trey does, like how he's benefited you.
Yeah, Trey's a big he'll tell you if your swing's not good. He'll be realistic with you. So if you're mentally weak, I mean it's not the easiest, but he tries to sharpen you mentally. So, and I know I was actually talking to Brandon at the state games, and I think it was like he had gone to Trey for the first time like not that long ago before the state games, and he said, he felt like it really sharpened him up, and he said the same thing about Nolan. Nolan said that he's sharpening his swing up a lot. So, a lot of good feedback from a lot of the players that go there. So
Yeah, I'll tell you what, man, that I am so proud of that dude. It's incredible what he does.
yes,
And I've seen it time and again. I've seen it with guys like you and RJ. I've seen it with my nephew. Uh, it's just a special, special place, and Trey's a special, special dude, man. He's got such a bright future. If you at all, if you're a baseball player and you want some help with your swing, you want some help with your approach, there's not a better guy, maybe in the country. I believe that deep in my heart.
yeah, sure.
He's just that good.
Yeah, I
So,
think RJ was actually up there today too. So
but I know he said he was going for a tune-up, so
yeah,
that
yep.
doesn't surprise me.
He said he wasn't very happy about batting 530 in the middle Illini. So I thought that was kind of funny, but
Well, when Aaron's is hitting 617, it's messing up the whole program for everybody.
yeah, that's true.
Oh, my turn.
Yeah, back to you, sir.
My last one is a young man, 2026 left-hander out of Lamont, by the name of Cannon Madej. And Cannon is a SWIC commit. Another one of those kids that blew up really late. This kid was uncommitted into February, if I remember
He
right.
is a big boy, and
Yeah.
he's a 2 years ago playoff hero
Yeah.
for Lamont.
Yeah.
Back when he was a
6'6".
sophomore, I think.
Yeah, like 6'6", 225, lefty. They were playing Hanover Central, which I'm not familiar with. I feel like they're out of Indiana or Ohio, and I'm not sure how that game came to be, but whatever. But allows just 2 hits, strikes out 11. That's a real credit to his pitching coach, Brian Furistic, there at All-Star Performance in the South Suburbs, and with the Chicago Elite. Just a heck of a project there to mold Cannon to what he's become, and it was pretty impressive back in the winter, and it's only gotten better. And it's coming.
I had to look it up, but Hanover Central is just northeast of Kankakee.
What?
So that's what I'm seeing. Hanover Central High.
Never heard of that school in my life. I have.
Oh, sorry. It's across the border though. It's in Indiana.
Okay. Thank
but
God.
it is still northeast of Kankakee.
Well,
we're both right. So is Lake Michigan, damn it.
That's right up there with when back in like 05, Lansing Indiana Christian won the Class 2A Illinois state title, and 10 of their 12 girls were from Indiana.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I'm surprised some of the Catholic schools on the south side haven't dipped all the way to like Michigan.
Well, that 30
you know
miles,
what?
you got to follow that 30 a little bit.
You know,
Plus, you
New
got Andrea
Buffalo,
down there in Northwest Indiana.
New Buffalo, Michigan, easy train ride to get into Chicago.
Hey, do you want to know something about New Buffalo, Michigan?
It's 100% closer than where I live in Geneva to downtown. I can tell you that.
Agreed. But they have a casino in New Buffalo.
Oh, I'm well aware of the Four Winds.
So back in like 2015, Bear and I recruited a pair of twin brothers out of New Buffalo. And when we were talking money with them, the dad goes, they don't need fulls. And we're like, oh, well, okay, what's the deal? You got scholarships? Four Winds gave every kid, I don't know if this is like every kid today or every kid born in a certain range, gave them $5,000 each for college.
Just because
just for letting them exist in the community. Yeah.
Have you ever been to that casino? It's pretty
I have
classy.
Not. I can imagine being right there on the lake. And
I mean, believe it or not, they'll get some entertainment. I believe Paul McCartney made a stop there.
Yeah.
The Southpaw, Paul McCartney.
Yeah.
For those of you who know the Beatles, it's a decent casino.
Yeah.
I think that that they bring that town a lot of cash.
Yeah, for sure.
It's a cool town. It's a good beach town in the summer.
Yeah. All right, bring us home.
All right, so I've got one more, and then I want to shout out a few Peoria guys just real quick. But the last one I'm going to talk about on Score Center. Time machine back to Wednesday, April 29th, Fox Valley Conference. So in the Northwest land, Crystal Lake Central walks off a good Jacobs team. Crystal Lake is down 5-1 in the bottom of the seventh. They end up scoring 5 to win it. Connor Altergott, the first baseman for Crystal Lake Central, it's a 2-run homer to walk it off, 6-5. Tip of the cap to the team and to Connor as well. That's a big game in that conference and beating a good team.
Hang on, I'm looking it up. The head coach at Jacobs was a Peoria guy.
Yeah.
Jamie
Salter.
Murray. Jamie Murray.
Okay.
Played for Coach Olson, I believe.
Okay.
So yeah, there you go.
Peoria High. Okay.
I do believe.
The other guys I wanted to shout out, we're kind of some record breaker type stuff. Ryder Renette out of Dunlap has 2 triples this last Wednesday at Canton, giving him 6 on the season. And the previous record for a single season triples for the Eagles and Dunlap was 5. So congrats to Ryder. He's got 10 games left, 9 games left, something like that. So he could certainly add to that record. Also in that game.
Do you know who had that record before?
I'm going to take an educated guess and say my former teammate, Jimmy Herget.
I was going to say that or Chris Herget.
Yep. Both fast. Both gap-to-gap hitters.
Yeah.
Although I never saw Chris play, but
I think Chris might have set that record, might have broken Jimmy's record.
Okay.
As part of his 30-game hitting streak back when he was a junior. Or a senior. He was a senior. So
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So kudos to Ryder. In that same game, friend of the pod, Eli Mechanicu had 4 hits in that one.
Yep. Congrats to Eli, by the way. Comes on the podcast.
Congrats. Bradley
commits to Bradley within the week. So yes, it does happen like that, folks.
It was like a day and a half after he came on with us.
Yeah. Yeah.
I feel like
the Bradley staff was at that East Peoria Dunlap game at Dunlap.
Makes sense.
Yep. I think the Kendall Pettis, former, he a Homewood Flossmoor kid. I think he went from Homewood Flossmoor to Oklahoma and was like one of the leaders in Oklahoma history in games played. But now he's back working for the Dodgers, and he was at that game too, checking guys out. So been a lot of pro guys out and around here.
I know. I got to get down there and see some of this hot action.
Yep.
With all our pro prospects, including Mr. Caden down there in the central Illinois. So a little more love for Peoria area. 2 guys from Morton I wanted to shout out. Hudson Lovell. He's white hot. He's up to 5 bombs. He is now 3rd all time for Morton in career home runs. And those of you who know Morton Potter baseball, that is saying something. They've had some tremendous talent come through there. He's having a hell of a season. My favorite stat for him this season is Hudson has 15 walks, 12 strikeouts. He's hitting 407, 3 triples, 5 bombs, 22 ribeyes. He had 8 bombs last year as a sophomore. I don't know how many he hit as a freshman.
He hit at least 1 because it was his first game.
Okay. So
14 total at least.
He's got more time this year and then next year because he's only a junior to continue to try to break that career home run record for the Potters.
Yep. Yep.
And then also wanted to shout out his teammate real quick, who we were supposed to originally have on with Caden, Mr. Anderson Boss, who's a righty, 6'3". He's touching 90. His last two starts, both wins. First one, I believe, East Moline, and then I want to say
IVC. Yep.
And I think he went 5 innings in both. I think he gave up 3 hits in both. I believe 1 run total in all 10 innings. Over 10 Ks, maybe 13 Ks combined in those 2 outings. So he's starting to really become the pitcher that, I think we saw in the showcases last year. Now that he's in varsity, he's really he's blossoming and throwing that cheddar, being that big. He's got a good spinner. He's one to watch.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, folks, that's all we've got. We thank you for joining us, Caden. We thank you for hanging out, man. And
thanks for having me.
Yeah, wish you nothing but the best the rest of the way.
Yeah,
What are you doing for summer ball?
Me and RJ are actually both going to play for the Pistol Shrimps.
Okay, Peru. I didn't know if you were going too, so that's awesome, man.
Yeah.
So yeah, have fun with that. That's an incredible experience. So you'll get to see some good stuff early.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, hey man, best of luck to the Indians the rest of the way, and I'm sure I'll see you at the ballpark. All right.
Yeah, thank you.
All right,
thanks,
man.
Caden.
All right, we'll see you.
See you, man.
And that's all she wrote.